Hello, crafty friends. This is Yana Smakula for SimonsSTM.com. Welcome back for another Yippee for Yana episode. With Valentine's Day not too far away, I thought about creating a card for a crafty friend. So this video shows a non-traditional crafty Valentine's Day card. Now I'm using older supplies for my card today, and hopefully you have these supplies in your stash. But if you don't, they're still available in the Simons STM store, so you feel free to go ahead and pick them up. Now this whole card started with Cassie's STM set. Kathy Zelski designed this fabulous Love You Like STM set, and this STM set features several different sentiments. So you have a big love you, and then you have some sub-sentiments included in there, like love you like dessert, love you like Netflix, love you like nachos, or love you like crazy. Now there is one sentiment that says love you like craft supplies, and when I saw that, I was like, this is the perfect sentiment to give to a crafty friend, a perfect sentiment to put on a card to give to a crafty friend. So this CM set, this is what started this whole card. After I've selected the sentiment for my card, I went and started to look for a CM set with crafty images, with images of crafty supplies. And I found one that is an older set from Simon, and that set is called Handcrafted with Love. I'll use an image of a watercolor palette and a paintbrush from that CM set for my card. So these two sentiments created the background or the base for my project today. I did some test stamping, and you'll see my test stamped attempts later as I work on this card. So with these two CM sets selected, I figured I needed to have a bold, colorful background for my card. I looked through my stash and I found this amazing CM set called Retro Tiles. I don't think I've ever used it. I love it. I really like the geometric images in this set, and I figured it would make the best background for this card. So I pulled out my Misty stamping tool. I have a sheet of Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock. I cut the letter size sheet in half. I placed it inside my Misty. I added a magnet on top to hold the paper in place, and I started to work on my background. I knew I wanted to stamp different sections of this background in different colors of ink, and I try to figure out a best way to do this without doing any masking using tape. I remembered that I had these amazing masks from Simons STM. They come in various sizes. The masks that I have here are designed for A2 cards. It doesn't matter what size masks you're using because we're not concerned with the size. We just need a piece of plastic that we can use to mask a section of the stamp for inking. If you don't have these masks, that's okay. You can even use, like I said, a piece of plastic so that you can just place that piece of plastic over the section that you don't want to ink and ink up the section that you do want to ink. So with that done, I started to work on my background. I selected several colors of ink. I wanted to have a lot of different colors, but I didn't want the colors to be too bright, too vibrant. I just wanted like a nice, soft, colorful background. So the colors that I have here are peachy, melon, cantaloupe, grapefruit, and citrine. I did stamp this background one more time using slightly different colors of ink. I had a lot more pink in there, and I didn't quite like it. So I kind of feel like this particular color combination worked really well. Now, when I did my inking, I made sure to position my ink pad vertically, not horizontally, but vertically. I am inking the sections vertically, so I'm positioning the ink pad vertically. This helps me avoid getting ink on other sections that are not covered by my mask. It's just a little trick for you if you are using these masks, if you are recreating this card. It helps to position your ink pad vertically and not horizontally so that you do not accidentally ink up the section that you are not intending to ink. So the whole process goes very easily. I stamp sections one by one, and I use a different color of ink for each section. Some sections are smaller, some are larger. I wasn't sure if I was going to use the entire background, meaning if I was going to stamp my sentiment directly onto this background or if I was going to use a panel over the background. So at this point, I'm basically stamping the entire background, including the central section of this background onto my paper. I am cleaning my masks when I'm switching to the different colors of ink to make sure that I do not contaminate my ink pads. And as you can see, I'm using both the positive and the negative masks when I do my inking. And doesn't this look pretty? I love all of that color. I love that it's not too vibrant, yet it is nice and colorful. It's very eye-catching. I really like this pattern. And our background is done. Next, I'm using my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim it down. I do need this to be 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, as this will make the front of my card. I am making sure to align it in my paper trimmer to make sure that everything is nice and straight. I don't want this pattern going at an angle. I want it going straight on my card. So I'm just aligning everything, making sure that I have nice straight cuts. And I'm going to slowly trim it down to size. I don't want to cut too much at once, so I'm cutting a little bit from each side, sizing it down to the size of my card. You can use a die, and I should have used a die to do this. So you can definitely use a die and trim it to the size of your card, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. But I forgot about a die, and I just decided to use my paper trimmer. And this is what it looks like. Absolutely love the shapes and the color. It's just very nice. To me, it screams cheerful. It screams a cheerful background. Okay, so here's a look at some of the test panels that I stamped using the stamp sets that I mentioned previously. As you can see, I was kind of playing around with different colors, different image placement, different images all together. And I liked the placement where I have love you, like craft supplies, and then I have the color palette underneath it. I figured stamping these sentiments directly onto this panel would not work well. I tested adding a white cardstock panel over it, and I liked that a lot better. So I switched and I cut a panel of white cardstock. This is again Nina Solar White, and that's where I did all of my stamping on. I do like the look of having a white panel over this colorful background. In the end, you still see a lot of the background on my card, but you can also clearly see all of the stamping and clearly read all of the sentiments. So I'm first going to stamp love you. I am adding a little heart with little lines under the love you, and I'm adding like craft supplies. So I'm going to stamp that using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. This is my go-to ink for black stamping. Here, I'm combining sentiments or messages from two different stamp sets, the stamp sets that I mentioned previously. And by the way, you can find a link to the supplies that I'm using today in the video description below. So I'm just making sure that I have everything nicely stamped on my card. I'm not doing any heat embossing or anything like that. I'm just stamping that in black ink. I really like how nice and crisp in dark this VersaFine Onyx Black ink is. So I find that is enough if I'm just doing stamping on a white panel. And next I'm going to stamp the color palette, and for this I'm using a different ink. I do want to color this image using alcohol markers, so I need to switch to a different kind of ink, the kind that is not going to bleed when it comes in contact with alcohol markers. And here I have Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. This one is designed specifically to work with alcohol markers, so you can stamp your image and then color it with alcohol markers, and it's not going, the image outline is not going to bleed. So I'm just making sure that I have a nice impression, and next I'm going to do some coloring. I have already picked several Copic marker colors. I'm not going to do any crazy coloring here. Just want to add a little bit of coloring, just like, a touch of color here. I'm going to start with the W1 marker to color my paintbrush. I do want the paintbrush to look white, but I am adding a little bit of shading on the right-hand side. And next, I'm using brown markers to color the bristles of the paintbrush. So here I'm starting with the E33. And then I'm also using E37, just adding a little bit of the darker brown there. Coming back to the E33 to blend that darker brown, and the bristles are now colored. Next, I have several colors to color the paint on my paint palette. I'm using E35 as my yellow color. Here you can use any colors you want. I tried to pick the colors of the Copic markers that best match the colors of ink that I used for the background stamping. They don't match 100%, they're not exactly the same colors, but they do look very similar, and that's good enough for me. So I'm just finishing this up using an RV11 marker, and at this point I wasn't sure what kind of color I wanted to use to color the paint that is sitting on the paintbrush. I debated a little bit, but I decided that the RV10 worked the best here. Lastly, I'm using the W1 marker again to add a little bit of shadow under my paint palette, and this creates the illusion that the paint palette is dimensional and that it is popped up on my card. So here I have my panel stamped, I have my background stamped, and at this point I realized that I can use a rectangle die to trim this panel down. I don't need to use my paper trimmer. I can just use a die and cut it out so that everything is nice and centered. So these are dies by Spellbinders. I'm using the fourth largest die from this die set, and I'm just going to center it on my background. Going to use a little bit of the best ever craft tape to tape this die in place, and then going to cut it out using my Platinum 6 die cutting and embossing machine. So I have my machine ready, I have my sandwich ready, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Now I am adding a sheet of scrap paper. This is going to protect my panel from any indentations from my top cutting plate. My top cutting plate is almost brand new, but I do have a few indentations there from a previous project that I was working on. So I'm adding this sheet of scrap paper. And as you can see, once I've die cut it, not only did this paper protected my panel from indentations, but it also absorbed the ink from my stamping. The VersaFine Onyx Black ink takes a little bit longer to dry, so whenever you die cut it, I find that I have ink transfer on my cutting plates. So adding a scrap piece of paper helps if you don't want to have any ink transfer on your cutting plates. So it basically just protects your cutting plates from the ink, and it also protects your paper from indentations. So it's a win-win. So my panel is ready, and all that's left to do now is to create a card base. Now for this card, I decided I wanted to have a colorful card base, so I used a yellow cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. I cut it to 5.5 by 8.5 inches, and I'm just going to use my Spellbinders trimmer and score it in the center to create a side folding card base. So this is the Spellbinders trimmer, and I'm using the scoring blade that's included. And in case you are confused, I just turned my trimmer upside down and scored my panel from the bottom, if you will. Going to use a bone folder and burnish the fold of my card base. And we are just about ready. Now, I do want to add some stamping to the inside of my card. I want the sentiment to continue to the inside of my card, and I wanted to say, and that's a whole lot. So when you read the card, it says, "Love you like craft supplies," and that's a whole lot. So I feel like this is a fabulous card for fabulous Valentine's Day card for a crafty friend, because a crafty friend will appreciate this sentiment. So I just used my Misty stamping tool. I have the larger Misty here. I opened the card base and I stamped the sentiment using that same VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Okay, time to assemble our card. I have already adhered the background onto the front of my card. I also have a piece of fun foam, and I'm going to use that to add dimension to my card. If you don't have fun foam, you can use foam adhesive squares, or you can also stack scrap paper, just glue it together to pop your panel on your background. I'm adding a little bit of double-sided adhesive, going to center that on my background, and we're done. I love the way this card looks. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you feel inspired to create. As always, if you make a card inspired by this video, we'd love it if you shared your project online and tagged us on social media. Thanks so much for joining me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.